Good evening. I'm back to London after 2 weeks in with stable, where I spent my time literally between work and try to find inner peace. It's been challenging and has been a roller coaster where I had days where I was feeling good and days where sadness was really high. Those 2 weeks gave me time to think a lot about choices I made and where I'm heading. So I need to be capable to really live in the present. I really need to make a huge effort to be in the now and really living fully this life, because I can't go back to what I used to be. I can't, and it's my responsibility to be able to make it. And it's challenging. The hardest things. It's easy to go there and fight against the system. It's easier. Yeah, you won't believe it, but it's easier. Try to change the society. It's easier. Try to change yourself. Try to change within. It's the hardest assignment that you can have as a human being. That's why everybody wants to change the external situations. That's why everybody thinks that, if things change, then things are gonna be okay for me. No. I now learn that nothing is going to change outside ourselves if it doesn't change within. Everything starts within. And that's the hardest revolution. The revolution of the soul is the hardest. To change within, to change ourselves, that's the real fucking challenge. And that's those 2 weeks. It gave me a lot of time to reflect. But this is not what I really want to talk. It's about something else. It's about synchronicities again, and this time we are in recent years. So a few years ago, Shepperton, I was already back to London, and I was working for this company serving coffee in Shepperton Studios. And in the morning I wake up and I check Facebook, because the only reason why I use Facebook is just to share my articles and share information and nothing else. So Facebook got a feature that is called Memories, and it tells you each day what you did or what you wrote in the same day, randomly, a few years earlier, or 10 years earlier, or 20 years earlier. So this time was that day, in the same day, a few years earlier, when I was living in Scotland. It was a photo that I took when I was visiting Stirling, and I was visiting this coffee shop called We Are Human, I think. And that day I engaged in an interesting conversation with the barista that of Scottish heritage, but Australian, and chatting about coffee. Turns out that he lived in London and he owned a coffee shop in Angel. So I had a coffee, really nice, and I left. Then that's when I was in Stirling. So back to the morning where that I was going to work to Shepperton. So I went to work, and one of my colleagues from London as well, barista, but graphic designer. So that his main passion is just making coffee while he's waiting for his business to take off. So we were talking, and then we're talking about coffee, and then he made me try this Chinese coffee roasted by Manifesto. That it's a roastery from I think a base in Perth, maybe Stirling. Now I can't remember. And where he does the design of the bag. So very cool, really nice. So we start to talk about the fact he works for this company, and that the owner of the roastery, like Alex McCormick, I can't remember now, but it's like this is the name of this a guy I actually met in Stirling. Is there like a guy like this, blah blah blah, that used to own a coffee shop in Angel, blah blah blah, and now lives in Scotland, blah blah blah? Yes, exactly. It was him. So the guy that dear Facebook reminded me that Doe is the same guy where this colleague working for doing the design of the coffee retail bags, and exactly the same person I actually Facebook reminded to me. So no need to say synchronicities. So now like when that happened means that means quite a few things. That at the end is always the same, like heading to the right path, being on the right path. That means to me that my inner frequency are high. I was balanced, and so having like a emotionally being balanced, and having an inner peace basically rise your energy, recharge your battery. And those synchronicities are just basically signs telling you that you're doing well. So that's how I see it. I mean, it is for me. I mean, it is in my journey. So obviously it was great, and it added another piece of puzzle on this unfinished puzzle, and it made me feel good. I just wish that to be able to maintain that state constantly, and not just every now and then. So guys, I arrived home, so just wish you happy synchronicities to everyone, and have a good night.